Welcome to Feature Friday, where we explore the cool functions of our Roof Wizard software. Today I want to explore the application we developed specifically for insulated metal panels, where we get a whole bunch of extremely useful information for fabricators. If I start again from scratch, file new, don't need to save that. We'll recover the outline I just used just because it saves a bit of time. And no, okay, 30-degree pitch, 500 overhang, that's good, and continue. So there's our metal roof. We have a look at that nice, so simple roof, simple. But we're going to put insulated metal panels on this, and we've developed a technique that takes advantage of some of the existing functions for calculating precisely how the insulated metal panels are to be installed. The first thing we need to do, we've got the roof, we know it's right, we then select our cover material, so we'll go to cover metal panels, and I'm going to do a search for all my Bondor insulated panels. So we'll do the Bondor 125mm thick insulated metal panel, and don't know the colour yet, and we hit OK. So the panel width is 1 metre, and the panel thickness is 125mm. But the big difference is what we do next. When we go to estimate, we can set up an allowance file which applies a purlin thickness. And what I'd recommend that we do is set all the other allowances to 0, because insulated metal panels butt together and we may or may not have overhang into the gutter. But the key thing is setting up a batten or purlin thickness equivalent to the thickness of the insulated panel. So the panel we've selected is 125mm thick. I've also saved that away as an allowance file, and what I would suggest you do is actually, if I do that again, I'll do a save as, and I'll save this as a Bondor insulated metal panel specifically for 125mm, so that I know that if I've got a 150mm thick panel, I'm going to get the right allowance file for it. I'm going to round to the nearest 10mm, and I'm going to put the rounded panel lengths on the job. So having set that up, we then go into estimate, set panels, and we select the option offset roof. So what that does is actually draws the offset from the roof plane to the surface of the roof panel, and so that when we generate our cutting list, better save it away first, I guess. Software can be very tedious sometimes. It wants you to do things. So there we generate our cutting list, and showing all the panels. The colour is awful, so let's change the colour. I think that was colour 4, so we'll change colour 4 to something we can see. And these things happen, so don't panic, you just have to fix it. And we'll hit apply, there we go, we can read them again, hit close. And if you've changed something like that, always go to File, Layout, Save Values, and then those colours will stick. Okay, so there's our cutting list, and the panel dimensions, and with the lengths of the panels, taking account of the thickness of the purlin. But there's another very cool feature that we've got for, go back to our top view, another cool feature which shows how those panels should be cut. So it tells the installers precisely how to set up their panels, their panel saw to cut the panels to the appropriate angle. But they might also want, well, that's pretty ugly. What about we align them to the apex? So we could say, well, let's align the panels there to the apex. And we can align the panels on that one to the apex. Oops. And we'll align the panels on that one to the apex. And doesn't that look a whole lot better? And the guys installing it, they will appreciate the extra effort you go to there. And the next thing we want to do is add the panel angles. So for that panel, that is the detail for setting up the panel saw. Now if the dimensions and appears in the wrong place, you just do a do a group move, grab the text and put it out here somewhere. And so it's easy to see, and you might also do a CAD insert line free and just say, righto, this information relates to that panel. But there's a whole bunch of very cool information, and that will appear on your report, along with all the other information that you might put on there, like dimensioning the roof and all of that. A very handy function, and one that I recommend that you explore. So not only do you get your cutting list for your panels, but you also get the cutting details, and that's on the report to your installers. Explore that, spend some time reading the help files and learning more about it, but that's a great advantage for the guys involved in installing insulated metal panels. Have a great afternoon and a great weekend, and we'll see you again next week on Feature Friday. Bye for now.